Hi friends, welcome back to another episode of Real Housewives of Moto. This is episode 47 for Levi Kitchen. I hope it'll be 47. It might not be. We might slot some other ones in there because we got some guest interviews that I've done, but we are back. Just Katie and me. Katie, how's it going, my friend?
Pretty good. It's coming off a good weekend.
Yes.
How are you? Have you settled your nerves, or are they just amped up now?
No, they're just, now it's like almost worse. I mean, during the race, it was bad because it was like, we're talking about Ken, obviously. We're going straight to the money, going straight to Kenny. Because he got to second and then just settled, like straight up. Like he just knew that wasn't his race. I mean, Hunter ran away with it, but I don't know what it was about just like sitting and watching them both just coast, so to speak. Like they were flawless, but now the waiting game going to Salt Lake is like way worse. Like this sucks.
Yeah, I know. It's almost like you don't want it to happen. Like you don't want it to be over because there'll be a conclusion.
I know. And that's like what's obviously, like, I'm a huge Ken Roxon fan, but I also love Hunter. And so like there is no like loser in this scenario, but I want Kenny to get it so bad. So
we all want. I feel like majority wants Ken.
Yeah. And I feel like the people like that were like pro Hunter in my DMs this weekend were just doing it to like spite me. Like they were like snarky about it. And I'm just like, I like Hunter too. Like that's a cool story too. So
yeah, there's no bad blood. It's just that Hunter has more years, like Ken and that generation have one foot out the door. So it's going to be so special if he pulls it off. And it's like, you have to get through the week, he's going to be riding during the week, and then you have to get through qualifying. And it's just like,
it's so much.
The anticipation.
I know. Oh, well, I'm glad I'm going to be there. Thank God. I mean, decided to go with Michaela, like, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago. And I'm glad I did it. Cause now I would still be going and it would be that much more expensive.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Because no flying Spirit, RIP, no more Spirit.
No more cheap flights to Texas. Frontier.
Yeah, it's true. Frontier's gonna.
I can find decent Southwest flights. It just has to be like a certain time.
Yeah,
but Frontier is pretty cheap. But going to LAX is such a pain, so I really try to go out of Burbank.
Yeah,
but I know. But I wonder how many people are going to Salt Lake now.
I got lots of DMs this weekend that they were like, I was on the fence. Like if, for some reason, like Kenny or Hunter had wrapped it up in Denver, I wasn't going to go, so I think there's a lot of people that are going out, and really you could hear it on the broadcast. Like, I think Lee, like several times was like, if you aren't, weren't thinking about going to Salt Lake now, now's your time.
Yeah. My parents will be there. My sister and her husband and their kids will be there. They're making a little road trip out of it. So I'm glad for my sister because they're also like huge Ken Roxon fans because her husband is German. So I'm excited. And then my little nephew loves Ken Roxon. He's 2. So they have his little shirt already and everything. So I'm like, I'm so excited. I hope he pulls it off.
I need to get my kids. They just added more merch to their merch site. I think like some different colors and stuff. So I need to get some of the kid sizes for my kiddos. But yeah, I will be decked out in yellow. Although I said this on my story somewhere. I really want to get my nails done yellow. Like I got this green done for May and I don't love it. Like it's got these like yellow undertones and I'm just, green is my favorite color. Like everything in my life is green, which is ironic that I made this brand purple, but yellow nails on me do not look good. So I've been like looking on Pinterest. I might get some like yellow with like squiggles or something, but just like straight up
like do like a checkered flag.
Mm-hmm. I thought about that
one, and then yellow.
Mm-hmm. I think that could be fun too. If I had a better nail chick, like my nail chick she did my nails for Does Nations, and I didn't love them, so I was like, would I trust her to do design, like Team 94 or something. You know, like
Oh my
Knuckles.
gosh, yeah. I
Team
had my
94.
old nail lady do Eli Tomac nails for me,
Mhm.
went in 24 for A1, and that was really cool, like, it had a number 3 and then, like, the checkered, and she did a little sprocket.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. See, I feel like this is not the race for me to test her skills on. So I'm like, I'm gonna do something simple. You know, I'm already like anxious enough. I started packing last night because I'm like, I want to do all the things while I'm in Salt Lake. Like, we're going to the women's ride day that Michaela's putting on with Stark. And so that's exciting. I really do not want to ride because y'all, like, I don't ride. I'm not cool. Like, so everybody's like, you're gonna ride, you're gonna get on a bike. And I'm like, yeah, we'll see. So probably not riding, but I'm excited to meet all the girlies who are coming out for that. Then the Moto 90s watch party is happening in Salt Lake. And so I've had some friends who are going to that. I think that would be fun because
That sounds really fun.
it does. It sounds like a blast. And then the privateer challenge, Pulp MX. So I'm like, I want to do all the things. And I just, not going to sleep for 3 days. So it'll be a good time, but I'll be
Oh,
tired.
yeah. You're gonna remember it forever.
I'm sitting here thinking like I need to book probably a chiropractic like adjustment and a massage on Monday morning, like, and I'm pretty sure I have connecting flights both ways. Like I think there I connect in Denver, and on the way home I connect in Austin because I was like doing it like on the cheap. So I was like, this is
Mhm.
brutal on the way home. But you know what? It's my birthday and it's Mother's Day on Sunday. So if I want to take longer to get home, that's fine. Like my kids aren't gonna die.
Exactly. Yeah.
So turning 36 in Salt Lake this weekend, and I'm like I said, I'm excited. I'm gonna be devastated if Kenny doesn't get it, but I will be very very excited for Hunter because he did it. He did it straight up. I mean, he's incredible. He looked so good this weekend. He's just immaculate. There's nothing bad to say. It's just that
I
you
can't
love.
believe I can't believe they went to Thunder Valley to do starts in altitude.
It just shows how bad they want it. I mean, not to say that like other teams that aren't doing it, but I kind of thought that Cleveland and Philly scared them because Hunter starts weren't great. I think that was because of the moisture on the grate. No pun intended with all the grates. But to go to Thunder Valley and like try to figure out the bike at elevation, like that was, yeah, they're not messing around.
That's next level. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that does scare me, especially with it being a factory bike and Honda arguably having like one of the bigger budgets available versus Pipes Motor Group, which is a privateer, privately funded privateer team. So that's a little bit scary. And it's, we're going to be at elevation again, not quite as high. It's 4,000 feet instead of a mile. But still I'm very nervous. Like I'm not going to be calm, I think, until probably sometime Sunday when my nerves come down. So, but let's chat a little Denver. We got Eli back. We had a lot of people come back. So Eli came back. Carson Mumford came back. Cameron McAdoo was back. Cam did not have a good night. That was kind of a bummer. He had a couple not good races. But we had the 250 West guys back, and I cannot believe we have a whole nother 250 West race. I mean, it's both coasts, but I just feel like I'm tired of seeing Deegan. Like I'm on a 250. I'm tired of seeing him on the 250. I'm ready for Paula. He is perfect. I mean, he looked bored out there. Like when he crossed the finish line, he didn't
No.
even broke a sweat.
Yeah, after the race, I told Derek he probably could have rode this race blindfolded and
Yeah,
still
really.
would have won.
Yeah, and it was a tricky track too. So kudos to him. But I mean, he wants all the stats. He wanted to beat Jet, so he passes Jet's at number of combined 250 and 450. Or no, he hasn't done 450 yet. Whatever stat it is. See, I don't even know what the stat is, so I don't. Who cares? Like they want it though. They want all the numbers. I think he really wanted a perfect season. I think that's really what he was going for this year, and
Yeah.
he got close. I mean, Max took the first round, and then Cole and the East West at Birmingham kind of messed things up. It does kind of bug me how he's like, 8 in a row, and I'm like, but you didn't do 8 in a row. Like by the AMA, you didn't.
And
But
he was like refusing to give Cole the trophy.
I know. Do you think that actually like was a thing? I don't really watch his vlogs, but like, is he making it a big deal for the plot, or was that real?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it was real. Like it's totally something he would do.
Yeah. The kid, he's a marketing machine. I'll say that. Can I tell you how many I was gonna say hundreds, I'm being dramatic. Dozens of times I was sent his reel that he used Dylan's audio on, Jet's girlfriend.
Yeah. I was just like
Mm-hmm.
floored. I was just like, how do you even think of that?
Because he's a savage. I wonder if that was his idea, if that was somebody else's. Like, I mean, I don't really care where the idea came from. I kind of like, I love it. I love drama. But then somebody DM'd me and was like, yeah, that song is actually like a song that Dylan wrote about her like best friend's mom having cancer. I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. Like, you should have picked like a romance song that she wrote about Jet. Like, that would have been a good flex. But
Yeah, yeah. He probably didn't even realize the song was about that.
I'm sure he's not digging into the tea with Dylan and Jet.
Yeah.
But I did see that Dylan and Jet went to F1 this weekend in Miami. I was looking for videos of
Mhm.
Jet walking, but we did not get any of them. All stills. But very cool. Jace was there, from Jace McAlpine from Gypsy Tales. It was pouring down rain, so it was not a F1 race I was sad to miss, but I would love to be in the paddock. They were like in the Racing Bulls paddock, like with headphones and everything. I'm like,
Oh,
what's the
wow, that's cool.
yeah. I'm like, I need to be sponsored by Red Bull so I can have this kind of access. So um going back to 250, so Haiden clinched it weeks ago, so this one is just adding more stats to his repertoire, getting a bonus check. I think Johnny Hopper asked him in the press conference, he was like, what's the point of coming here? And he's like, I'm building a giant ass house. I'm like, well, yeah, it makes sense. So his house does look sweet though. Have you been following some of the updates that they posted?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like the whole middle part is like a giant garage. Like he's
Oh,
like,
I know. I
oh,
can't wait to see it when it's all done.
I know. Like, and his master closet is like the same size as like the bedroom. I was like, that is such a Hayden thing. I love it.
Uh,
And he's back with his girlfriend. Did you see that?
I'm
Like everybody
so
sending me those posts.
yeah.
Okay, so we said it here. I cannot believe how invested I am in the dating life of a 20-year-old, but they posted at one of the California races that she posted and they were holding hands, and then his vlog came out like the next week and was like, I'm single, da da da. Then she goes back to Australia because that's where she's from, and now she's back here, and like as soon as the race was over, she posted a picture from like behind the gate of him. So I'm like, what is going on? Like,
Yeah. Interesting. I know. Like
so
the drama.
I know. And I also want to be like, you're not here on a like what how are you here? Like in the States? Because you're not working. So like, are you here? What kind of visa are you on? I watched too much
Right.
90 Day Fiance.
Oh, I love that show.
We know she's not on a K1. We know that they're not getting married in 90 days. Can you imagine like Hayden goes and, does his thing in the outdoors, and then like before SMX is like, hey, I got married at 20.
Yeah, right. I think his parents would kill him.
I think they would too. The photo internet would explode. So
But I wonder if we ever will see Deegan in his dad era.
I don't know. He's just, I mean, I say he's so young. I mean, I was married at 23, but he just, why would he? He doesn't seem like the kind of guy to like want to settle down. But like Cameron McAdoo,
Right
like
now.
dad
Right.
mode.
Oh,
You know?
yeah, yeah. But like
Did you?
later, if he does go till 30,
Yeah.
it'll be
Do you
interesting to see.
think he sticks around longer than Jet? Like not like Jet will. I think Jet will retire first, and I think Hayden will have some time without Jet. But do you think Hayden sticks around in the sport longer than Jet sticks around in the sport?
As of now, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, like I I think he's also one that wants to try to break records and stuff.
Yeah. I could see him sticking around even afterwards, and like, what if he like took over Star, because Bobby's getting up there in age. Like everybody always thought that the Deegans were gonna have their own team. I think everybody thought they'd kind of go the Cowie route. But they're deep in the Yamaha, pockets now. So I could see that. I could see,
Yeah, and I can see Bobby Reagan trusting him with all of that.
Well, I mean, the combination of Hayden and Brian, like in 15 years, like, can you imagine the kids that are, just starting out, on P-dubs right now? Like, I want to ride for Metal Militia Yamaha Racing. Like, I could totally see that.
Totally.
Yeah. And the branding, all of it. So, speaking of the branding, what did you think of Hayden's signature Fox kit? Did you notice that or see it? It was kind of that brown.
Honestly, no, I just saw like the photo shoot pictures.
Oh, the whip or
Yeah,
the scrub. I don't even know
the scrub.
that. Yeah, it was like
That was
I think it was
insane.
Photoshop.
That was insane, and it was at golden hour.
Mhm.
Those pictures turned out so nice, but
Yeah,
I'm
it did.
trying to think of his gear. I wasn't
It looked a lot like Kenny's from Philly, except without the like flame things. Which was interesting because I really liked that colorway. It was like that dark gray with some rust colors, red or whatever. And then when Haiden came out with his signature gear, it was very similar colors, but it said like danger down the side, and I think it had some like HD 38 or something on the arms. But it looked so much like the gear that Kenny had just worn, and it looked so different from the Haiden specific gear that he was running in the beginning of the season, which I guess wasn't Haiden branded, but he had all those like teal colors and light blue, and I really liked that. So when he came out with the signature gear, I thought it would be more like the light blue color.
Mhm.
But now we got kind of browns and rust tones and reds, which awesome, just not what I thought we were going to get coming from teal and sparkly boots.
Right.
So I did think that was really cool. Speaking of Fox gear, I know I'm biased because I'm a Kenny Glazer, but Kenny's full blue and like neon green, like he had the matching boots and the matching goggles, like so good. So
I
good.
loved I loved Roxanne's gear this weekend. I
Oh
love
my
blue and green together.
yes. And like it just kept getting better. I was like, oh, there's matching boots. Oh, there's matching goggles. I tagged Fox Moto like 10 times, I'm sure, over the last couple weeks, just have been in love with it. And they followed me back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they have like 2.5 million followers. It's definitely my biggest account that followed me. I was like, hello, I am now like a Fox Blazer too, which I've always been. But um Fox had a number of good kits. Cameron's gear, Levi's gear, like all of those. I think they've killed it with the PC Fox kits. Those were great. Um, I don't know that there was any gear this weekend that I would like dislike. Usually there's one where I'm just like, that doesn't work, but I can't think of like having a visceral reaction to bad gear this weekend. Dino's was a little bright, the red. I remember that one. I was just kind of like, okay, like ketchup and mustard. But I think good job gear. We've had good gear this season. Good job gear companies. But speaking of Levi Kitchen, he comes in at second. Did not think we were gonna get to see like a fully healthy Levi because he's had this back injury that's been bothering him. So good on him. He looked good. I hope that between next weekend and Paula, he'll just be able to chill a little bit because like we've talked about ad nauseum, Haiden is moving up. Levi is one of those contenders for outdoors, and if Mitch doesn't get a championship soon, like
I
I'm on
know.
that team. So we'll
Oh,
see if we
I'm
have
sure they're just chomping at the bit, ready
yeah,
for Deegan to leave that class. Like,
yeah,
so many
get
more
out of here.
doors are gonna open.
Mhm. Yep. So I think Levi will be really good outdoors. We'll hopefully have Joe back. So that's another contender in outdoors. And then third place, Ryder D. I'm looking for Ryder D to take a step up in outdoors too. He took a massive step up in his career this season. Third on the
Mhm.
box. I thought he looked incredible all day. I messaged Reese, his girlfriend, and his mom, and all of his brothers were there at the race. It was so sweet. But after qualifying and after his heat race, I was like, he looks good. He looks good. Like this is his night. And then he got third. So I was like, told y'all. So very happy for Ryder D. Fourth goes to Max Ansey. Fifth goes to Caden Minear. Talk about Caden Minear this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
A little stressful, little stressful. So I'm a big Caden Minear fan. Our boy DB put us on to Caden years ago, and so followed him and have talked to his mama on Instagram a few times. They're going back and forth between here in Australia, and apparently like last week, like Caden just like threw down the gauntlet with Bobby and was like, "Please let me try," because I don't want this year to end with crashing out in Houston and SMX next. Um, so I thought he looked good throughout the day, but then that heat race and getting in with Levi, like I listened to the pulp thing. Maybe it was Vital. I can't remember, but people were talking about how that's one of those rules that just like makes no sense. So because he got pushed wide and didn't cross the finish line jump, he was penalized 2 positions and he was down a lap, so he didn't qualify. Like, oh
Yeah, no, that doesn't make any sense.
no. And it's like, where was he supposed to go? And I did see that they moved the tough block later. Like they moved that tough block like right up against like the big tough block. They moved it up against the track. But so that was strike one for my nerves with Cade Minear. And then again in the LCQ, he did not do it peacefully, but got in, and just so excited for him. I think was his birthday yesterday. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. but he's just like, he's such a baby face and he's so happy. Like, I'm like, protect him at all costs. So, Bobby,
He's
thank you for
adorable. Seems
that.
funny too.
Yes, I love when he makes a cameo in like everybody else's vlogs because they're always
Yeah, me
hilarious.
too.
I think was it Cole's where they went to play pickleball? It was like him and Caden and both the Cadens, Caden Dudney and Caden Manier. They were playing pickleball or maybe they're playing tennis. I don't know, but it was good. It was funny. Then our boy Lux gets career best 6th.
Oh my gosh, he did so good.
He was running in second there for a while in the heat, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I was freaking out.
Yeah.
And I texted Nicole because Keegan Rowley, Lala's boyfriend, was in the same heat with Lux and was like right on the bubble for the transfer position. I was like, are you freaking out? And she's like,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
That was stressful. And then like obviously like getting to know like all the riders that like train at club on top of the club boys. Like there's just a lot of people that like know and love the Turners, and you know Lala's based out of club, and yeah, that was a little stressful. But yeah, Lux getting his best finish in 6th, Hunter Yoder 7th, Robbie Wageman 8th, Josh Ruiz 9th, and Max Villan in 10th. It was a good night. I mean, other than Haiden just like being completely dominating and out of frame, everything else was a good ride. So
yeah,
I was here for it. Let's see. Let's talk a little 450. So we got Eli back, which we knew was gonna shake things up, either in a good way or a bad way. But he was much more on form. So I don't know, like, what is your mindset that like they found things in the bike while he was off, or he really did have an injury and he was well rested? Like, what do you think really moved the needle for Eli in these 2 weeks off?
Well, I think I'm starting to believe that COVID thing, or that really sick thing where he was having symptoms afterwards, because it came from Roger, and he was talking to someone that Steve said that he would trust with
Yeah.
that information. And it kind of makes sense because he did say he was sick in Birmingham. I don't really count Birmingham as an off weekend for him because he got third. But after that, it kind of makes sense. And then he was better in Nashville before it got super dried out and he had the wrong tire on.
Yeah. He
So
looked
I
good.
really think I'm beginning that he was just having symptoms after being sick, because there's no way he was 100% healed for this weekend. And, you know, he podiumed and he had to go through the pack. Heat race wasn't looking that promising, so I got a little nervous, but no, I just think he went through guys. Like, he was 8th and he had to go through Barsha and Prado and Hill again and Webb, and he did it. So, and that was still being hurt. Like, I saw him, I don't know, Whiskey Throttle posted a video of him after, and he was pointing towards like his arm, and you can't really hear what he says, but he says something like it still hurts or something. But he wasn't 100% and podiumed in a class that's been doing really well.
Yeah.
And everyone's back. Chase, Barsha, you know. So I'm just gonna go with the sick thing.
Yeah. I mean, it makes the most sense. I think that's, I mean, I look back to like the interviews where he's like, I'm fine, I'm not injured, you know? And I'm like, okay, so maybe you weren't injured, but you were sick. And so we're playing a semantics game, Elijah. So
maybe because everyone is so sensitive around COVID,
yeah.
You know, he was just having like a politician like mindset, you know, because some people will go into uproar about it. Or maybe he was scared they were going to tell him like he has to test and can't race.
Yeah,
so I don't know. Maybe he was keeping it super low key for those reasons. I don't know.
Yeah, could have been anything. We knew that. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I'm excited that he's no longer cursed at Denver.
Yes,
because I've had the Achilles in 23, and then 24 was his finger or his thumb, and then 25 he didn't get to race, and then this year the curse is behind us.
Got on the podium, got it done. Yep, that's what your background is. If you're watching this on YouTube, Katie's background is when she was there, 2023.
It took a long time to be able to look back at these 23 pictures, so I figured now that the curse is broken, I can look at them. Yep. And I kind of thought he didn't want to like interfere with Ken and Hunter.
Oh,
So
totally.
I feel like because he was the fastest on the track. So I feel like once he got to third, he kind of stayed back because I feel like Eli wants Ken to win this just as much as us.
Yeah.
Like they go way back, they're buddies, they're like family,
Mhm.
friends,
Yep.
been together their whole careers. So I just think Eli really wants this for Ken as well. And I don't think he wanted to risk all that.
Yeah, I totally think so too. Did you see? I think I shared it. Did you see the picture of Sam and Greg and Courtney? With
Yeah, and it said hoping for a Rocks and Tomac podium. That is
there
so cute.
was, and
And
there
there
was.
was.
I mean, I would
See,
have
I was
preferred.
not crazy for thinking there was a reason Greg was in town. Eli's
Mm-hmm,
brother was in town the week of Denver. It
mm-hmm.
was
I
like
mean, he
too
was
much
there
of a
for
coinkydink.
yes. I mean, he's there for Love's birthday, but they all
Mhm.
showed up. I love and I love like I can't remember if Greg shared it or Sam shared it, but there's a bunch of pictures of Cannon and John like working on the farm, and oh my gosh, it was just so freaking cute. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
sitting on Eli's bike. And
yes, in
did
the
you see
garage.
Jessica's doing those photo sessions for her animals?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I got sent that and people were like, "Are we going to go do a photo session?" And then I also got sent the link to their page where it just like you can buy the cow and it's like cow or mini horse, mini cow, whatever it is, and then the next link down is just semen to buy this
No.
um yeah, I was sent this multiple times where it's like these are your purchase options, cow or jizz.
Oh,
So I'm like, I love the RHoMies that go down the rabbit holes of all these things, but I'm like, I want to be adopted by the Tomacs. Like,
oh, I
can we just
know. I love Jessica's like entrepreneur mindset. Like she's trying all of these like different ideas to make, extra money when she doesn't have to.
yeah.
So it's really nice that she's like trying all these different passions of hers.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Well, and that Eli's, I assume, is just like, yeah, go for it. Like, do what you want to do. Like, we love a supportive king. Hello. So
Yeah.
here for that. So I think Lou and Michael Lindsay were talking about how do we rate this season overall for Eli? And I thought that was a really good question. I was like, I need to ask Katie that because she is the number one Eli fan. I think if Eli hadn't come back for these last two, I would feel differently. Like it would feel like it was just like we threw in the towel and we started focusing on outdoors. But the fact that he came back gives him lots of points in my book. And the fact that he got on the podium and it was at Denver and all his family was there and we didn't have these championship expectations going into this year because we didn't know what we were going to get. I mean, short of him winning the championship, I give this season an A, maybe an A minus if I'm being really pessimistic, but how do you feel? What would you grade this year for Eli?
No, I totally think that's fair. I would
Mm-hmm.
say like 8.5 out of 10, 9
Mm-hmm.
out of 10. And I
Okay.
feel like it's a point off because he still did Eli things, like he still had those weird races where he's in like 12th for God knows what reason.
Mm-hmm.
There's just like there's races he should have won where he could have been up in points.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just these Eli antics that have cost him to have four or not have 4 or 5 titles.
Yep.
It's just those one offs, but this year ended up being like 3 offs. And yeah, but he did a lot better than all of us were saying.
True.
He still loves the sport. He still did really good. He still says, he's still happy.
Yeah.
And I think, but see, I was like, if he's coming back from Denver, he's retiring next year. I like, this is what it means. And in his press day interviews on Friday, I was like, he's saying it without saying it. And he's kind of like stumbling. He's saying
Mm-hmm.
for my last Supercross, not Supercross season, but then he said season in one video. But then when I was listening to the Steve Mathis review show last night, he said, oh, Eli's testing the 27 in a few weeks and finding out if he's going to like it or not.
What? That was on the review
Yeah.
pod? I missed that.
Yeah,
Huh.
no, and so because of that, and Steve said, he's really happy, the team's really happy with him. He's like, there's no way he's retiring. And JT thought the same thing.
I mean, I thought the same thing when he like came back for Denver, had the whole family there. But at the same time, if he wasn't coming back for next year, I feel like there would be enough people around him to convince him that like we need a proper send off. Like, I don't think he's just going to show up in Salt Lake and be like, hey, this is my last race. Like, I feel like enough people be like, no, you are like on the Mount Rushmore. Like, you need to have your moment. But I also, on the other side of it, I don't feel like Eli wants to come back next year and just ride around getting like sixth, you know, not that that would happen, but like a worst case scenario, I don't think that's how he wants his last season to go either. Like, this being his last season, short of the injury, is kind of a best case scenario. Like, coming in a strong third, which now he's not in third, but I don't know. I
Well,
don't know.
I mean, because I don't think Jessica and the kids were there, and I think they would be there for
Yeah, true.
Denver, or maybe they're gonna be in Salt Lake, but
Yeah,
that's good points, but we also thought he was gonna ride around 5th and 6th this year,
true.
and the
Yep.
only thing changing next year is Deegan, which I think
Yep.
he will be more off in Supercross.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. There's so many top riders. Some are bound to have injuries because that's just how it works. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's so interesting, and I feel like he can't even make up his mind.
I feel like that's him every year. I mean, since 2022, it's been
Oh,
like a
yeah.
last second thing, and we don't.
Indecisive king.
Yeah. So maybe he doesn't make a decision until like further into the outdoors, which I'm sure KTM is just like, what are you doing? Hearing that
Yeah.
Conans are coming in 2027 now, not 2028. So Lucas, the taller one, will be on 450 and Sasha will be on the 250. I would bet that they keep, I mean, Prado's on a 2 year, so they're keeping Prado. AP is the one that's like, where's he gonna go? I know AP moves a lot of merch for KTM, so like, does he get another deal, but it's like much, much cheaper? I don't know, but I could happily live in a world where KTM runs Eli, a Conan, Prado, and AP. Like, that sounds
Oh
very
my
expensive. I
gosh.
don't care. Figure it out. So that would be very interesting to see. Also, like, how does the Husqvarna thing play into it? Like, do we move AP to Husqvarna? Do we, like, what are we doing with Malcolm? That'll be really interesting to see how that shakes out. But before we get there, we got to crown a champion of this championship. And like I said at the top of the hour, this week is just crawling by. My stomach is in knots. I just wanted to get here. I wanted to be over with. But like I said, Hunter looked insane. I was looking at one of the stat accounts and it was just showing like Kenny's comeback and then Hunter's consistency in a few of the bobbles. And like, honestly, like Hunter stacking those twos for so long. And then Kenny in Seattle, I had to look it up. I was like, how bad was it? Was it like 7th or 8th? No, it was 10th. So Kenny's 10th in Seattle is like where the points just, and that's what he had to
Oh,
work himself. So, I mean, really, Hunter could like Dungey this to the end, you know? I'm like, I love Dungey too.
I know. I can see it going both ways. I see something where Ken gets out front and checks out, and then I can also see Hunter up front and check out. And it's just gonna come down to who's gonna like well, Kenny's like he's not is he racing outdoors? No.
I don't think so. I think he might race a few, but I don't think. Yeah,
With
I think it's.
SMX points. But
Mhm.
it's like, is one of them gonna take each other out if it comes that down to like the last few corners?
Mm, I don't
Like,
know.
I feel like
Somebody was.
it's gonna be really exciting, or it's gonna be, like, really boring, where one just checks out and it's done.
Yeah, like this weekend. Like, I felt like I was so freaking nervous, and then it was just like whatever. Like, Hunter and Ken were like the least exciting thing about the 450 main this weekend.
And it's
We're just
fun hearing the crowd for Eli when he would make his passes, like, I
yeah.
love like, Denver 2019, that crowd was insane, so
Well, he's always said like he's never heard anything louder than Denver like cheering him
yeah,
around the track, which that's so
yeah.
cool. Eli does bring home the third. Malcolm gets fourth. Malcolm was kind of a benefactor of all the chaos at the end. Like, it just seemed like every time the camera would cut over, it was
Um,
like Prado riding a wide bike, or I mean, honestly, like J Coop had the speed. He was fastest on track for a while. Like, I think the Cooper stuff, J Coop and Cooper Webb, like that was a little spicy. I think that Cooper has
I
a
heard that.
yeah. I think that J Coop has been nice to Cooper on the track many times because Cooper has been in the championship fight, but I don't feel like Cooper gave J Coop the same courtesy. And then he got all salty about Jorge Prado because they got into it in that bull turn. I mean, Jorge's line was insane. I was like, what are you doing? But that's Jorge. You have to know that at this point. And so Coop apparently he was not happy about that. And then Jorge goes on record saying, well, if you were faster, you could pass me. I was like, that is so savage. But I mean, Eli did it, Ken did it, Hunter did it. Like everybody got around him. And then
Yeah.
Cooper West like salty that he can't do it. So I don't know. That's a good one.
Yeah, there was some good drama this weekend with all of that.
Yep. And Jay Coop and Dylan going down in the sand. Chiz and Vince Freezy and Chiz getting trapped under the bike. Did you see that?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And the
Chiz said,
handlebar was like choking Vince.
and he had like gas pouring out of his tank on him at the same time on Chiz, not Vince. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh no.
So yeah, we had some carnage. So that was nuts. Chase was also a benefactor of those late race downed riders, and so he was able to ride.
He was in like 10th, and then I looked and he was in 5th, and I said, "What the heck?" It's because of 4 people went down.
Yeah. Do you hear all the drama with Dan Fahey not answering a question about Chase going outdoors? This is like the talk of the PR paddock.
Yeah, and then he confirmed it with Steve. So I don't know why he was trying to like confuse everyone.
I don't know. I'm like, did you really not understand like how you were saying things, or like was that actual like a Freudian slip and you're like things are not great, but of course he's racing the outdoors, but like what if he wasn't? That's what I thought. You know, when people are like really mean and they say just kidding, and you're like, there was some truth.
Yeah, there's always a little truth in a joke.
Yeah. So I don't think that there's any world where Chase isn't lining up for Paula on a green bike, but also like stranger things have happened. I just think Cowie would look, I mean, like complete idiots if they had Chase and Prado break multi-year multi-year contracts back to back. Like that would just be not good. So
not good at all. No, I'm like for sure he'll be at Paula. I'm just so curious if he'll do better outdoors or worse, because Prado had the issues outdoors.
Yeah, but I also feel like at that point, like Prado wasn't even trying. You know, like the one where he like didn't intentionally tried to not qualify.
Yeah,
So
true. Yeah.
and
And he still got like 5th or something in points, 5th or 6th.
I know. Yeah. I was like, that did not work. That backfired, Jorge. Also found out, we don't know how long, but has been with this beautiful Italian model girlfriend. Stunning, as is he. So I'm just like, I hope you guys work out and you just have beautiful children, because like, what the F? You guys are so pretty.
It's definitely like a hot couple.
Yeah. My parents were over last night. We had dinner together and I was rewatching The Main, and my mom's like, who's that? Like, that is Jorge. He's very pretty.
Oh my gosh. A lot of like people have crush on him.
He's
the jawline.
In the skin. Like, I'm just like, you're beautiful, you know? I made a post comparing the David, like made of stone.
And then the accent.
I know, I do like that. It's funny, like he like even in the interview with Lewis where he's like, just go faster than me, like he just sounds so like innocent. He's like, oh yeah, he did that to himself. Like it's just so like Deegan. I don't know what it is, but it's like he just doesn't care. So I made a reel kind of like reacting to listening to that episode, and I just said, or that interview, and I said he's going to be a complete menace outdoors, and people are like, you know, he can't even hang on for a full main. How's he going to be a menace outdoors? I was like, because he's better outdoors. You know, I was like, he's not expected to win the title. I was like, he's going to be a sleeper. He's going to have a run in with Deegan. He can ride a wide bike. I'm so here for it. The outdoors are going to be so good.
So good. So good.
Figure out what kind of jet we're going to get. That's the biggest, like, what is going on. So we're close, but I don't know. I go back and forth on Jet. Like, I think I was more optimistic until he went on Race Day Live at Nashville and was just like, yeah, it's not healing the way we wanted it to. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, why are you being so frank? I like that you're being frank, but.
Yeah, I saw on Twitter, Steve Mathis posted that he got that someone at the test track said Jet is Jet. Like, he's fine.
I mean, that's kind of how we were last summer, but this is a much bigger injury. So I guess we just hope for the best. Let's see. So Chase 5, Prado 6, Garrett Marchbanks 7th. Good on Marchbanks for just, you know, not completely imploding or throwing in the towel, like quietly riding, you know, into some better finishes. Justin Barsha, man, 2 weeks in a row, we've had Barsha back. and he almost gets the heat win. I think that would be so cool for him to get Ducati's first win, even if it's a heat win. He looked really good. He said himself that he doesn't have a full moto in him, that he's like, I want to get a heat race win. So he was really saying, I've got enough in me to run up there for a heat race, get a little sprint. So Justin Barcia getting a heat race win in Salt Lake, I would not hate it. I want Kenny to win the other one, but I was talking about this with Tim this weekend, and I feel like this is like a big duh, and I should know this, but I don't. How did they seed the main out of the heat? So like if Hunter was in heat 1 and he won it, and Kenny was in heat 2, he won it, who gets first gate pick? Do you know this?
No, but Faith asked me that yesterday, and I had to ask Derek, and Derek said when it was laps, when it used to be like 8 laps or whatever, it would be like who got it done the fastest, but
Yeah,
I think we just must go like on the fastest lap.
Yeah, that just seems like if you're in the second heat, it would be unfair if the track was breaking down, Like it's just I need to look this up. I'm sure people are gonna be listening to this and just be like, you guys are such idiots. Just look it
They
up.
should just flip a coin, heads or tails.
I know, really, they should,
Or rock, paper, scissors.
I would love to see that. Can you imagine that like on the gate, like rock, paper, scissors? Like,
that's how you should solve everything is rock, paper, scissors. The world would be a much happier place.
I mean, that's how I parent, or this is how we get people to hate the AMA even more. They could do what I do, and like I tell my kids to pick a number 1 through 10, but then I already know which way I want to go, so I just lie and say whichever kid picked the number because that's the way I want to go.
Oh my gosh, that's genius.
AMA has already caught enough heat this year for everything. So, goodness gracious. So that was Barcia in 8th, Dean Wilson in 9th, Dylan Ferrandis 10, Cooper Webb in 11th. I mean, Cooper and Justin Cooper could have been up there. I mean, you could have had 2 top 5s, but they had late race issues. Better weekend for Christian Craig and Jordan Smith. Christian Craig went 12th and Jordan Smith went 14th. Justin Hill and Dylan Ferrandis apparently got into it, and Dylan was saying that he like lost his back brake and just like torpedoed into Justin. And I heard one of the interviewers in the post race say that to Justin, and Justin was like, "Sure." That's all he said was "sure." So I was like, I don't think that Justin needs you.
Oh yeah, because I guess Dylan went over to apologize for him, apologize, but it seems like Hill wasn't buying it.
Yeah, I think so. So no love lost there. Looking at our picks from last week, we both chose Deegan, so we won there. And we both picked Kenny and Hunter, so we did not get that either. And then Chase and Coop, none of which were on the podium. So we both got Kenny and Hunter, not in the right order. And then we said, oh, you did get all 3 250s because we did 3 250 picks. Deegan, Kitchen, Ryder D. And I picked Deegan, Ryder D, Kitchen. So good job. You got all that.
Oh, funny. I always get Ryder D and Daxton Bennett confused.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think now Ryder D has the stash and Daxton has the burn on. I think it's a burn. I used to think it was a hickey, but now it's there all the time. So I think Daxton with the hickey that's not a hickey. Once you start following their girlfriends and stuff and you see all their content with their girlfriends, that's how I can like put them together because they're all like 12 years old in my mind. They're grown men who can grow mustaches apparently. So, all right, we're going into Salt Lake City. This is our last picks of Supercross.
Oh my gosh, how is the season over? I feel like it just started.
I know, and this will be my 4th race of the year, and I feel like it just flew by. So fourth in person. But let's do full podium.
Okay, for 250s, well, Deegan.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do Deegan, Cole, Kitchen.
Okay.
Or Hammaker too. I'll just keep it Kitchen.
Okay.
And then 450s, oh my gosh, I don't know. Do I go with my brain or my heart?
Right, really? This is why my fantasy picks suck, because I always pick with my heart.
Roxanne.
Yeah, girl.
I know we're both gonna pick Roxanne.
Yep.
I just feel like he's not gonna crack as much under pressure. Like I feel like there's more room for Hunter to crack.
Yeah. I also feel like of the fast guys that are going to be up there in the mix, like Eli, well, Cooper Webb would totally mess with it with Kenny. Like
You think
he,
so?
I don't think until this year, but I think he's gotten spicy and he hasn't been able to back it up, and I think that's embarrassing for him. And I think he's trying everything, but it's just not working, and I think that's embarrassing for him. And I think that clip from his Gypsy episode that's like, I will never let my rival, meaning Roxanne, win again, like, and beat me straight up, that started circulating again. So I don't know. Part of me just thinks that like Webb would covertly get in there. Like, I don't think he's gonna like just take Kenny out, but I think that he wouldn't help him. Put it that way.
Oh,
But I think Eli would help him.
oh, for sure, for sure.
So if we did like
Also, I
Eli,
don't think Cooper Webb has caught enough flack this season. Like, how is he the reigning champion and has won a race without winning a race? I think I already went on a rant about that, but it's like, leave my little Eli alone and let's rag on someone else, okay? Because Cooper Webb hasn't been showing up. Eli has shown up more than him.
mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Okay, yeah. Ken, Hunter, Eli. I'm just gonna do it. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Ken, Eli, Hunter.
Ooh, that would be good.
Yeah. Can you imagine that though? Like Ken out front and like Eli like protecting him and like knowing that Kenny's winning his championship in front of him. Like, I would love that. Oh, I would love that. And the
See
Tomac
the aftermath too.
I told Tim, I was like, I don't care if I get arrested. If Ken wins this, like I'm jumping the tarp and running to that podium. Like, so unhinged. I don't even care. I'm gonna be snotting.
Courtney would probably let you go with her.
I mean, I'm sure she'll be down there already. Like, I
for
gotta
sure.
figure out who
But
I gotta
she'll
beg.
text you and say, just come down here. I'll let you in.
Well, I was thinking about like my friend Nick still. Like, Nick was down there. I don't think Nick had a media pass, but when Christian and when Christian won the 250 championship, because he's like a diehard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen, I know I'm not anybody, but like I feel like I am the biggest female Ken Roxon fan that's not married to him. Like, I need to be down there. Like, I need to be documented ugly crying. Like, I'm gonna be so undignified that I need to be down there. So I'm gonna figure it out. Whether I get arrested or not, I'm gonna make it down there.
You have so many connections now. Like, someone will get you down there.
I really hope so. But they're being very selective with who can get down on the floor. Actually, side note, before I make my 250 picks, I heard that certain media outlets, actually one in particular, was warned via someone else by NBC that they are posting too much during the race, and they are basically live streaming for free the race, and NBC is not happy with them because you basically could just watch everything on this particular media, their accounts, and they're like, hello, we are already losing so much money on Peacock, which is not a good thing for moto. Like, Peacock did not have a good year last year, and so they have since been warned, you're posting too much and you're basically live streaming the race, so chill out. And I think not directly as a result of that, but there are other conversations that next year it's going to be much harder to get a media credential from Feld. So all the people asking if I'm going to get a media credential next year, I can tell you right now, I'm most likely not even going to apply because I probably will not get one, for one thing. And then number two, I think you probably also like sign over your intellectual property rights to Feld. So basically they have control over all your content anyway. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that. I want to be sassy and I don't have to worry about having somebody tell me what I can and cannot say. Okay, thanks. So all that, do with it what you will. But NBC has warned certain folks in media. All right, 450, I said Roxanne, Eli, Hunter. 250s, yep, Deegan, stamp it. I want to put Ryder up there. Like, I would love for Ryder to get a podium. Like, that would be, I mean, to get a win. I know that would be a big stretch because Deegan is just on another level. But I'm gonna say Ryder D second. And then I'm like, do I go Cole? Do we have two sets of whoops again? Because it's a very similar track. No, one set of whoops this weekend. And
they just posted it, and I just glanced at it.
I think somebody said it's very similar, but only one set of whoops. So maybe not Cole. I'll go Hammaker. So we'll go as different as I can from you, other than Deegan. So I'll go. Yours is west, east, west. Mine is west, west, east. So that'll work. Other things around moto this week. We have the ride day in Salt Lake City. So if you are a girly who wants to come ride, please check out my girl Michaela at Michaela on the Bike on Instagram. O'Neill, who I used to hate, but I don't anymore because I've made amends with O'Neill, is going to be giving away some gear for girlies who need gear. Even with free gear, I can't be convinced to ride. So sorry. But that will be really fun. And like I said, there is the Privateer Challenge, Pulp MX, and the Moto 90s showing. So TBD on what I make it to, but I promise I'll be posting all the things. Hopefully we'll have better cell service than Nashville. That was my problem in Nashville. Like I nothing would upload because there was no service in like the stadium or the whole city. So I'll do what I can. Other than that, I got to figure out packing and hopefully not getting altitude sickness because that does happen because I'm a wimp.
Oh no.
No, but people are like, you can get these like oxygen things. I saw a couple of the riders doing them where they like put them over your mouth and go, and it's like 99% oxygen. So I'll get one of those and just like hydrating. Like I usually don't eat and drink well on race day. I usually don't eat a whole lot at all. And then I'm like, why am I so dehydrated? And I'm like, because I've only had Red Bull all day. So do that. But yeah, last race of the season.
That's so, you're gonna have the best birthday weekend.
I know,
especially if you win. Like, how do you beat that?
You can't, honestly. Because I mean, my original love was like the 2011 KTM team, Dungey, Marv, and Ken, and I got to see Dungey get the championship over Eli. Sorry, so I got to see that in person, and so now I feel like this is my moment to see Kenny like win it all. So, all the good vibes, all the prayers. I hope everybody just does their best and have fun. But I hope that Ken brings this championship home. Bring it home.
Oh, man, just this, yeah. It's gonna be like, you can't put it into words.
No, we would transcend the sport. We talk about it. I want to be there. I want to help write the script. Like, call me up. Let's go. So. All right, my friend. Well, you will be watching from home. Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to find somewhere fun to watch it. Like, there's this winery in Temecula where they have Supercross watch parties, but right now it's MotoGP.
Oh, is it? So, it's not the one that Moto Dofo or
It's called Dofo. Like Dofo Winery or something.
Yeah, that's where Mina works.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's not gonna be there because she's gonna be in Salt Lake. But yeah.
Oh, well, maybe you can ask her if they're gonna do one for Salt Lake.
Yeah. Like, can you not turn on MotoGP because that's way more important?
Yeah, like it was on their website. So I'm trying to find somewhere fun to watch it. So if anyone knows of any watch parties or at a brewery,
yeah, that'd be fun. You might need it. You might need a couple beers to calm your nerves. Gosh.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be real nervous for Ken too. Like obviously you guys and my sister will be on a whole other level, but I'm nervous too.
Yeah, maybe put all of us on a group chat. Like, especially if we're like in different positions all over the stadium, like we'll have eyeballs all over the stadium. Full coverage, but all right, my friend. Well, we will be back hopefully next week. I might be dead to the world next Monday, but hopefully with a good report to share from Salt Lake City and all the things that I experienced. It's gonna be fun regardless. I'm excited. I don't know that I've been to Salt Lake City. Like, I know I've been to the airport a million times, but I don't know that I've been like out and about in Utah. So this will be fun. It'll be a good time. And it's already getting hot in Texas, so I'm like, get me out of here. That'll be awesome. Alrighty, we will chat after Salt Lake. Woo!